What's going on?
And we're live.
We're live. I think we are. I never know with these guys. They're all crazy. The chaos that happens off the air is better when it happens on the air, so we're marrying it together. It's just stop, dude. I'm going to give you a big intro. Give me a minute. I got Rob here, and I got the president of BKFC, Dave Feldman, to my left, sitting next to me. It's Brian Socha. We're excited to be here. So much to cover today. We're going to talk about BKFC 17. Got some exclusive behind-the-scenes content for you, and we're going to analyze that, of course, with David. And on top of that, we have to talk about what's going with Thriller. You were bringing this up on the air, so we'll get to BKFC 17 in a minute.
Look, Thriller is Michael Jackson. It's Triller, Brian.
Did I say
Triller.
I said Thriller?
And anyway, yes, I'm sorry.
I didn't know I said Thriller. I said, okay, it's Triller. I'm sorry. It's because you guys are throwing me off with your tomfoolery that's going on here today.
Yeah, so it looks like Triller has filed a couple of lawsuits. The first one, Triller files a $100 million lawsuit over privacy of the Jake Paul fight. This came out around April 26th. The lawsuit claims 12 online sites illegally streamed the pay-per-view fight between YouTuber Jake Paul and MMA fighter Ben Askren. Within their lawsuit, $100 million against 12 different online streaming sites, as well as 100 unnamed individuals for providing over 2 million unique viewers with illegal and unauthorized viewing of the April 17th boxing match. Wow.
I mean, it's crazy. Look,
wow.
We're in a place now where everybody's illegally streaming, and we know that as BKFC. It definitely hurts our bottom line a lot. We look at it a little differently, though. We look at it as, look, right now at this point that we have a lot of people watching the event. And, it sucks we're not getting paid for it. It absolutely does. And I don't think people should be stealing it at all. And I think that what Triller's doing is, it's setting an example. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to spend all that money on legal fees to sue each and every person, but they're saying they're going after each and every person. Now you have a...
Well, no. So they're saying...
I'm sorry.
So that was the first. Yeah, so no, that was the first lawsuit. The first lawsuit is they're actually going against the big websites that have been providing, I guess, the links for people to watch it.
That's believable.
Yes.
That's
so
believable.
now the next lawsuit that it's rolling out right now, exclusive Triller offers clemency to boxing fans who pirated Jake Paul bout, and they're asking people to pay up.
Come on.
So more than 2 million, just like the previous article stated, illegal streams of the Triller fight occurred, the company said, and it will be pursuing those individuals for the maximum penalty of $150,000 per illegal stream of the fight. Triller will not pursue legal action against boxing fans who pirated the individuals.
We get it. So basically, they're going to go
They're
after
offering
people.
you clemency. If you pay the $50, pay the $50. If you don't want to pay the $50,
June 1st,
they're threatening to sue you for $150,000 per person. I mean, that's a lot of money.
No.
The thing is what kind of legal fees is that? I think they're going to do it. I think they are going to do it.
Come on, Dave.
I want to tell you why.
You're a smart guy.
I'm telling you why I think they're going to do it. They have billions of dollars behind them. They have Hollywood money behind them. I think they're going to make an example now because, look, 2 million, they lost $100 million in revenue. 2 million buys at $50 a pop. They lost $100 million in revenue.
So you're telling me they're going to find Joe from Idaho that was streaming this illegally in his basement. They're going to go.
They said they can get all their IP addresses.
Ain't happening. And you know what? I got to say, hold on, Dave. This is a publicity stunt to me. They're going to They're going to scare people, and they're going to get publicity. It's a great news.
People.
Well, Dana,
I agree with you, but I'm saying they're also going to get publicity. They might get a couple people, but they're not going to get it. They're not. Come on.
All right, and they continue. So a lot of people are intelligent. They're not stupid. They use VPNs, which masks your IP address and kind of tosses it around.
Why don't you just tell everybody how to steal a product?
I didn't know that. Thanks.
Hey, I didn't create it, man. I'm just don't shoot the messenger. And they further this. VPNs all have to comply and turn over the actual IP addresses of each person who stole the fight in Discovery. Triller's head of piracy, Matt St. Clair, said. We will be able to identify each and every person, VPN or not, and each stream has a unique fingerprint embedded in the content. So it really does sound like if you watch the fight and you don't pay up by June 1st, you're in for a $150,000 potential lawsuit.
No way.
You don't think so?
Look, I don't believe it. It sounds like, remember when we were kids, they had scared straight? That's what it's like. They're scaring people straight to not do it
Hold my
again.
pocket.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hold my pocket, little man.
But here's the thing. Look, it's not going to cost them a ton of money. I mean, it potentially could in the end, but I mean, they're gonna draw up a lawsuit and they're gonna mirror it to every single person. They're just gonna change the name on it.
It's just gonna copy paste it.
So,
I will say, you know more about that than I do.
But I'm saying, look, at some point, somewhere, people do have to stop stealing it.
I agree.
They have to stop stealing it. I mean, it's they you know, they complain about fighter pay. Look, I get the brunt of it a lot, although we pay our fighters very well, but I hear it a lot. You know, you're not paying this, or you don't pay the guy this, or pay the guy more, pay the girl more, pay this more. We'd love to, but if you stop stealing our stream, we'd have the money to pay them more. But you keep taking the revenue away from us. It's hard to pay the guys.
How do you pay people
And
without
again,
getting
I'm not saying don't pay them. We pay them very fair. So it's not that we're not paying them fair. We pay them very fair. And a lot of companies are paying them fair, and some companies are paying them they're very much underpaid.
And I want to be straight too by saying that I'm not saying it's okay to steal a stream. It's terrible. You're hurting the industry that we all work in. I'm just saying I find it far-fetched they're going to find every single person that stole the stream. Hey, if they can do it, good for them. I hope they do. But
yeah, well, I mean, I'm a little confused. Not confused. I'm surprised. Reading some of the comments, people are very supportive. A lot of people are laughing, and they don't believe it like you do. This is from Lennox Lewis. What did they expect? The majority of the marketing was on social media targeting teenagers. Do teenagers really have $50 for a pay-per-view?
No, they don't, and that's the way the teenagers aren't even going to think it's wrong. Because in today's society, when you steal that, it's almost you can't walk into McDonald's and say, "I want to take this cheeseburger and take it." But that's essentially what people do when they steal a stream. You just walk up and you steal what's not yours. But the kids don't see it like that. It's become so normal for them. So maybe
So they have a 50 to.
I'm surprised that Lennox Lewis actually
Wait
came
a
out and
second,
said
Lennox
that.
Lewis. So if they have a $50 coat or a $50 jacket or a shirt, a T-shirt even in a store, and they can't afford it. I mean, those stores should never market to kids they can't afford a $50 shirt. I mean, come on, man, that's bullshit.
they think their parents can.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bullshit,
$700 PlayStation too.
I mean, we're in a different age. I think Lennox
That's
Lewis.
an excuse to steal.
I agree. I think Lennox Lewis is at a different place because right now $1,200 cell phones, $500, $600 video game systems, $2,000 computers. We're in a different age. Pay-per-views aren't $10.
No.
While we're talking about Lennox Lewis, though, what's the news with Lennox Lewis?
Ooh, yes. Good transition.
September. That
was great.
Yeah.
Good job,
Mike
Dave.
Tyson.
September, Mike Tyson.
Are the fans going to watch that? Do you want to see Mike Tyson in a fight with Lennox Lewis? But is it a fight? Here we go again.
Exhibition.
What would you consider it?
I mean,
David Feldman.
It has to be classified as an exhibition because I don't think the states are going to sanction it. But is it a fight? I mean, was Roy Jones versus Mike Tyson a fight? Use your own opinion. Was it a fight? I mean, I thought it was a great event. I actually thought they both looked good. I don't think they were trying to murder each other by any means, but I don't think they were just playing with each other either. I do think that some of the fights we saw on the last Triller card were a little different, but at the same time, man, look. Who doesn't want? I mean, yeah, it's an older Mike Tyson, it's an older Lennox Lewis, but who doesn't want to see that?
Come on, bad blood sells. They're going to sell the bad blood. They're going to sell the ear biting incident. People, could that happen? It's probably not, but could that happen again? People are going to spend their money. That's the selling point to me.
So this Mike Tyson fight, and it looks like there's going to be more of this. Should they create their own organization similar to bare knuckle?
It's called Legends League.
Well, it's a league, but it's still considered a boxing. What I'm saying is maybe it should be. Maybe the people that are doing these modified boxing events should create their own type of sport. Maybe there's an area for that because again, you have the purists that are so insulted that it's not a real fight. It's not a real boxing match. This is not what I remember Lennox Lewis or Mike Tyson being. But now, there's master classes and things for people that get older, and it's a different kind of tournament or a different kind of sport. Is there a place for that?
I mean, there could be. There absolutely could be. I mean, people want to see it, but again, I mean, are they going to keep wanting to see it? Like, is this something that the timing right now is good for this, and is it going to wear itself out, or is it going to be sustainable? I don't know, and again, I'm not putting it down at all. Look, these guys. I mean, if I would pay to see Mike Tyson fought, until he's 90.
I would too.
But at the same time, is it going to wear itself out? Where if it's not real fights, and I mean real fights, like they're trying to knock each other dead. If it's not that, I don't know. Is it going to wear itself out? I don't know. The same thing is the YouTube sensation.
Yep.
YouTube with TikTok and everything else is going on. Is that a phase? Is it going to wear itself out? We don't know. We'll see.
We don't know. I've been asking that same question for a couple weeks now, and you brought up TikTok. There's something we talked about before we went on the air that involves TikTok with our company. I mean, could you dish a little bit on that? I don't know much. I was trying to get it before we went on the air, but now I'm putting it out there.
We got my man Stuart. He's a big TikToker. I think he has millions of followers. He assembled a bunch of TikTokers with all millions of followers that want to fight. He's talking about if they want to fight bare knuckle or not, but it's something we might give a shot to just to get new eyeballs on the sport.
I mean, it makes
something.
sense to get the new
Or-
eyeballs.
Wow.
or
okay.
If they
So there's-
or they may box inside the square circle, just something just to get people more a different group of eyeballs on there that normally wouldn't watch bare knuckle. They watch bare knuckle that night, and just like everybody else.
And that's
still
not definite yet,
hopefully
right?
fall in love. It looks like it's going to happen. It's,
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a big card midsummer.
Oh, that's what we're looking forward to. I'm looking forward to see what happens with that. That'll be fun to watch, man. We'll see.
All the respect in the world to any TikToker or YouTuber
Not
that
me.
takes the gloves off and
Not me.
steps in that ring, man. Phew.
So yeah, it's going to be great. As a matter of fact, we're talking about Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather is fighting Logan Paul on June 6th, Hard Rock Stadium, Miami,
Yeah.
June 6th, that
June
like a month
6th.
less
on
than
a
month.
Sunday.
On a
And-
Sunday,
and
wow.
I won't. I will tell you that they just announced today that Chad Ochocinco is fighting on that card. He's making his boxing debut. And what you guys don't know, I didn't even tell you, is I have a big surprise that, and I can't mention who it is yet, but a bare knuckle fighter, one of our fighters, is fighting Chad Ochocinco.
Really?
Yep.
What?
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Why don't you tell us?
In a boxing match?
Yeah, in a boxing match. June 6th, Hard Rock Stadium.
When
You
do we
got an
find
extra
out?
set of tickets, man? Me and Brian?
Come
I
on,
think we should go down
We'll
the report
review
on it.
We'll review
No, I think
Right?
we have to
Get
be
the
there.
fans out.
Yeah. Well, look,
The
you
fans
know,
wanna see
you know,
it.
we
Come
have
on.
a great relationship. We actually got boxing started there, so they're
Mm-hmm.
definitely going to give us a shot. So absolutely, man, we're all going to enjoy ourselves. But when that gets announced, hats off to him. He's getting a big opportunity to be on a big platform.
That's going to be great. It's going to be great for bare knuckle too. Like we said, always try to get more eyes on the product. And I'll tell you, there was a ton of eyes from what I'm seeing on BKFC 17, which we're just coming off that. What a fun show. As always, I always say the shows get better and better. It's so true. I mean, what was there? 10 fights, 10 finishes.
Yeah.
First time ever. But you know what? It didn't look like maybe one guy didn't come to really fight.
Yeah, I
and
saw
maybe
that too.
one fight could have been a little lopsided. Other than that, they were evenly matched fights. They went out there, they were banging, and one guy got caught and went out. Like it wasn't like it was like this guy just jumped all over the guy and the other guy wasn't in the fight at all. They were all good fights, and then someone just got banged out of there. Man, it was crazy, man. What a great. I mean, I really couldn't have imagined a better debut in a new state of of Alabama. Birmingham, Alabama was great.
The Magic City. And it's funny because I spoke to you on camera right after it was the Zach Calamus fight. I call it that Bobo versus Zach, but Zach, Bobo might have won, but that was a huge fight for Zach.
Sure was.
And you were like unbelievably hyped up. I don't know if I've ever seen you like that. And we were talking about how good that fight was. I know we're going to talk to Zach, try to give him a call in a little bit later to find out, because this guy, it was such an honor for him to fight on the card. The guy was so excited.
Do you know what it is, Brian? Man, like I love this shit. Like I
do.
love it. Like I mean, as a fan, like I love it. I love what we're building. The team's great. Everybody's working their ass off, and we're growing, and we're growing, and we're growing exponentially now. And we're gonna enter into some great partnerships here in the next couple of weeks. That's really gonna catapult this thing. But as a fan, man, I love it. Like, as a fan, I was sitting there like, holy shit, this is unbelievable stuff. I mean, I jumped up. I'm like, I took a picture, and I'm like, yo, let me get a picture
saw
of
you
you
doing
guys.
Like a fan in the crowd.
It was amazing, man. What a great fight.
They couldn't even find him. It was his time to come on to talk to us on film, and they're searching the arena for where Dave is. He's out there cheering like a madman. And we finally got him back there, and he came on. It was fun to talk to you after that fight. It was like your first fight again. I think it was one of the best fights I've ever seen. It was incredible. I know that Sean Wheelock, I think, said this has Fight of the Year candidate written on it. He was saying.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually really nervous going into this event. Probably, what was it, 2 weeks out? A couple of the bouts got, something happened with the bouts, and I just got a little nervous how everything was starting to shape up. And I'm like, man, the car looked really solid. I hope it can really live up to the expectations. And man, did it blow me away.
Me too.
Like being there live. There's nothing like being at an event live. And I don't want to take anything away from any other state that we've done an event in, but Alabama, those people they're
loud.
fucking awesome, man.
They were loud.
Well, besides
energy,
that fight, which
man,
was
they are great.
unbelievable fight. I
a
mean,
great
really
crowd.
one of the best things that I've really ever seen. Look, it wasn't very technical. Although it was at the beginning, they were both using their jab really nice. Right, and here's something that you guys don't know is Bobo told me before the fight he got a new trainer for this fight.
Did he?
I'm like, oh, that's great. I said, where's he from? He's like, England. I said, well, how's he going to be here in the corner? He said, I'm going to FaceTime him.
You kidding me?
He FaceTimed him in the corner.
Really?
Really? I
It
didn't
was
know.
crazy.
That's
He
awesome,
FaceTimed the
Bobo.
door and trainer,
What
and he
a-
FaceTimed him in the corner. He had headphones on. He was listening to his instructions.
Oh, you know what? It's funny.
Unbelievable.
When I was watching, I rewatched it when I got home, and I said, "Does Bobo have a hearing aid? You can't fight with a hearing aid. It's that black thing in his ear. That's what that was there for." That's awesome. Thank you for that insight. I didn't know that. Rob, did you know that?
Nah, it was crazy. But how about when Frank Tate came out to Sweet Home Alabama?
Place came unglued.
The lid came off of that
I know,
place,
man.
the top.
It's such a moment. Rob's talking about just the insane fans we had there, and that's only the sold-out capacity with COVID restrictions. Can you imagine when we go back there and the place is jam-packed? It's going to be insane.
Socially distant, sold-out crowd. I can only imagine, man. They were... Man, that crowd, I was feeling it. I was feeling the energy, and I was loving it, man. I was feeding off of them. I was ringside. Man.
At one point, I was looking at Lights Out doing commentary, and we looked at each other and like thumbs up and smiled when we were looking at the crowd just coming unglued. It was a cool moment. It was a great night for us. I'll tell you, when the night started, Tom Schoaf making a return to the weight class that he says he needs to be in, and he sure showed that, man, against Nathan Mitchell.
I mean, I'm having trouble breathing now still, just from feeling those body shots that he hit my man with. I mean, they were incredible.
And I'm ringside. I'm standing up screaming the first knockout ever by a body shot. The first knockout ever.
Right.
And guess who stopped me? Dylan Kleckler was next to me. He was like, no. I was the first. I'm like, you're absolutely right. I apologize. You got the first body shot knockout.
You didn't want to be wrong to Dylan.
No. He was awesome
what
too.
I saw with that fight, though, was that when Nathan Mitchell, right, when he got his tooth knocked out, he made this face like, oh, shit, and then he got the body shots and went down. So as a fighter, I mean, you get your tooth knocked out, you're going out there for war, but he sees his tooth go flying. You saw it on his face. Did you see his face? Yeah. And then, boom, so that had to contribute. It was the body shots, but before that, the tooth go flying. They're going to show it here. It's pretty incredible. Watch his face if the tooth goes flying. He's like, oh, my gosh. And Schoaf just looked so confident. Schoaf looked like a killer walking out there.
Yeah, his walkout, man. Hopefully we can watch this. And those have not seen this.
Wow, look at those body shots.
Please download this fight. www.bkfc.com.
Now watch. He's like, where am I?
Bring it back.
Oh, God, it's gone. It's gone. Oh, no. Now he's done.
Oh, and there it is. He was so worried about getting hit upstairs that he exposed his ribs. He pulled his hands up. Tom Schoaf knew it and went in for the kill, man.
I think his name is now Tooth Fairy Tom Schoaf. Look at that.
There it is.
Watch.
When Tom walked by me after the fight, when I was doing the interviews in the back, he looked at me and he just said, I'm fighting at the right weight class. I said, I know you are. Because he's been wanting to get back to his normal weight class. He's been all over in BKFC, and I think you can tell he looks most comfortable here.
What a strategic fighter.
He's fun to watch.
His head movement and his defense.
Away from his opponent at all. I mean, he came out there, he tried really hard. He trained hard, and he was ready to roll. You know, there was really no quitting him. But, you know, it was really nice to see for Tom Schoaf, a nice guy, made a transition down to Oklahoma to get his life, you know, better and to train better. And, you know, he looked sensational.
Paying off in dividends.
He also worked with Leonard Garcia leading up to the Joe Elmore fight, too. So I'm sure he picked up some tips there, like he said. A lot of great stuff in this card. The new guy, Robert Washington, I enjoyed him, too. Big win from Robert Washington.
He had a great time.
And then
from the Robert Washington that I see, I want to say it was BKFC the September 11th. Was that the bout that
September 11th? Okay. He got knocked out by Keemon Evans.
He seemed different.
Keemon Evans is
coming back.
He's my sleeper fighter, man. I'm telling you, that guy is dangerous. That guy.
We're gonna try to get him back. I got something up my sleeve. We're gonna try to get him back. It's gonna be a sensational fight of two of our brightest stars. He's one of them, and you know.
We can't see the other one yet.
and I was really surprised to actually see Robert Washington look like he looked so extremely polished in his bout versus the Juggernaut.
And I'll tell you,
not Lorenzo Hunt.
No, the other Juggernaut.
We want to get to that too, but taking nothing away from either competitor, Robert Washington, he had a game plan. He implemented it perfectly.
By the way, I'm sorry. I was going to say, by the way, Lorenzo Hunt, I said, man, he's got your name, the Juggernaut. I thought Lorenzo was all heated. No, I love it, man. He must love me. He must think I'm a good, that's why I love Lorenzo.
His trainers, which one of his trainers is Martin Brown, one of my favorite BKFC fighters, told me that, you know, he was bouncing from house to house to get ready for this fight. So, you know, I mean, he did what he had to do. He came out fighting. But, I mean, Ryan Jones, man, that dude in his last fight came out like an animal. He suffered a big cut. He wanted to continue. He just wasn't able to. He'll be back, I think, August in Biloxi.
We're looking forward to that. I mean, there were so many good fights to talk about in this card as we watch the remainder of this one here, what we see on screen with Robert Washington and Jones. But he also, I'll tell you, they didn't see this. Robert Washington, I spoke to him after I saw him doing some post-fight interviews with people. This guy is so entertaining on the microphone. He could keep your eyes glued to that and his fight. It's great to have both of them. Not all fighters do, so kudos to him. I also want to talk about Bobo O'Bannon. Bobo Bannon needed the win big. He really needed that win after having 2 losses recently. And Bobo Bannon came out there and he fought with Zach Calamus. And Zach, we picked up at tryouts, right?
Zach. So the funny thing about Zach is he was trying out at right outside of Tampa in Plant City, and he was just making a lot of noise, shadow boxing, like
very intense.
Every punch, and I'm like, what's this guy doing? So he kept doing it. He looked decent, and I went over to him and I said, like kind of jokingly, I said, usually the loudest guy in the room can't fight, and he's like, I'm different. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna give you a shot. So you want to bring Zach on? Let's bring Zach on, and then we'll go into the next topic.
I think it'd be huge for the fans.
Can we bring Zach on?
Can we get him on? Is he going to be able to call? Well, as we're waiting to get him on, let's just talk about Zach. The thing that I noticed with Zach was after the fight, right? Well,
I'm sorry, man.
No, please go.
I don't
You're the president, El Presidente. Go ahead.
He said right as he was getting introduced, "This is the best day of my life."
So what's the worst?
After he got knocked out, with his eyes swollen shut, and fought his ass off, did unbelievable, fought his ass off. Said to me, he came to me, he said, "You just gave me started crying almost. You just gave me the best day of my life." And I'm like, "You just gave me the best day of my life."
It was incredible. I was very impressed by Zach the whole week. Even before the fight, he came to the announce team. He was saying how he's a fan of the sport, and he was really into it. He was blessed to be here. During the fight, you heard, as Dave said, he was the best day of his life. And then even after the fight, when the arena was closing, I saw him, his eyes swollen shut. This guy, he had a fight, and he didn't care. He said, it was such a great night. I can't wait to do it again. He goes, I'm going to come back in better shape. I'm going to be in better shape. The fans deserve it. I need to do that for myself. So I'm looking forward to that because this guy has so much intensity. Mm-hmm. He's just a good guy to be around and a lot of respect. I like the respect factor he has for the game too.
Yeah, and what a warrior. I mean, how many times was he knocked down? And every time he got back up, the crowd just brought him to his feet.
They would go crazy.
And I want to ask him about that. Did he...
You want to bring him on?
Do we have him on?
I think...
Is he on?
All right, well,
Zach, you there?
Sir. Yes, sir.
How you doing, Zach?
Zach, it's Dave Feldman.
You
know me. It's Brian Socha, the guy that interviewed the fighters after the fights, and you got Rob, the marketing whiz. He's our VP of marketing, and our podcast star over here, Rob.
Zach, how you doing, my friend? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing good. I just left the dentist office about an hour ago.
I lost him.
I'm sorry, guys. It's cutting out.
Well, we lost him. So, let's talk while we're waiting for Zach to come back.
So, yeah, let's try to get him back on the phone because I got a lot of great questions.
Am I connected?
I want to ask that warrior, man.
I'm gonna go outside. Am I connected?
Do we have? I don't have anything in my headphones right now.
Yeah, I don't.
This is technical difficulties when you're live. This kind of thing happens. So let's just talk about the Zach fight a little more. Like I said, the guy's eye is swollen shut. I love that he ripped his shirt off.
Well, let's talk about tryouts, man. Of how he even got on here. I mean, talk about heart of a lion. You were there. This guy.
Oh, you know what else was unique about him? He came down with a woman trainer. A woman trainer manager. She was very, very nice. She looked out for him. And I can't lie. I'm always suspect with women in combat sports as trainers, just from the old school. And I know they're really evolving now, and there's a lot more. And I think they're doing a great job. And obviously, she did a great job with Zach. So hats off to her.
I agree. Let's try to get Zach back. I think we might have him. Zach, you there, man?
Yes, sir.
Because I just guessed because it says on the phone on the screen, so I thought he might be on the phone. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep the show
Can you hear me,
rolling.
sir?
That's cool. We're just working on getting Zach back on the phone.
So as we wait for Zach, there's something you wanted to bring up too about some drama.
Oh yeah! Wow. Okay. So I'm at ringside.
No, this isn't Zach.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So backtracking really fast before we get Zach back on. I'm going to go in and out on this. I don't want to spend too much time because I don't want to give too much notoriety. There was an issue behind me in the stands between, I think it was a couple of fighters or one fighter in particular, and a fighter who actually just fought. There was some kind of tussle between Robert Washington and Brandon Lambert. I don't know the full scope or the details of what
I
occurred.
think anybody does yet.
But definitely not the place or the time to actually get in that type of inappropriate behavior. I don't think Dave has actually got the full rundown of what occurred or people's sides or whatever may occur. But
I mean, I would guess, I'm not speaking for Dave, but when he does get the full side, I'd guess some suspensions would be in order, maybe fines. I don't know how that would all work out, but I know that BKFC offices will be taking care of that because we don't like that kind of stuff at the events. We're there to do it in the squared circle, and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to check out more information on it, I think
Mission Accomplished. They were there. They got some
our friends that
footage.
have an amazing podcast. They were there. They have more details on it. We try to steer clear of the drama. We have enough going on with
within the office.
Yeah, with things going inside the ring and outside.
We're not going to get into that drama right now.
Yeah.
No. We're going to move on from that as we wait for Zach Calamus to come back on the phone. This guy, the first time with us outside of tryouts, and I would say, I know you seem to have a deep respect for what he did. Everyone should that watched, but I mean, he'll be coming back, right? He's got to.
100%. I mean, how can you not have respect for a guy
Who's on their end, bro?
who goes in there?
Okay.
I mean, and not putting him down didn't look like the athletic specimen of a heavyweight. He was a little chubby.
For Roy Nelson style,
Did his
if you
thing,
will.
came in there, and he said, you're gonna fall in love with me after this fight. And I mean, as a fighter, man, oh my God, I'm in love with that dude.
Oh, I
I enjoy
know.
him too. He looked like the guy from what's it, Kickboxer? The movie Kickboxer. Jake, is his name Jake or John? He looks just like the guy from Kickboxer.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. That's Bloodsport. That's
Jackson.
What it is. Thank you.
You look like a Jackson.
That's it. That's who it is from Bloodsport. If you Google both their faces, they look
I'm gonna kill you, man.
like twin brothers.
What is that guy's name? Help us out in the
Rand-
chat. Let us know that guy.
I can't remember his name
from
either.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wrong movie, but I was in the right genre at least.
Yeah, the guy from Revenge of the Nerds.
I mean,
right?
if you look at if you look at the side by side, go ahead and Google it. You'll see what I mean. They could be like twin brothers. I wonder if it's not him fighting bare knuckle. I'm that serious. Let's throw to a commercial real quick where we're trying to get Zach back on the phone, and we'll get this all in order, and we'll be back right after this.
Tiger Life is not about race or religion, black or white, young or old, male or female. It's not about where you live or where you're from. It's about finding your why in life. Tiger Life is a way of life. It's a purpose, a light, the future. We all have a story to tell, so let's tell it. It's time to be heard. Just remember, we may not be able to rewrite our story, but we sure as hell can change the ending. Tiger Life. Energy never tasted so good.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. And I'm Kayla. And you're watching the BKFC show for the two hottest guys in the world. All right, can I get paid now?
Yeah, somebody please get her money. I mean, she's saying these wonderful things about. I thought she really meant those things. I don't know. I think we're good looking, Rob. Right? Dave, I mean, you're here. We're the three best looking chaps in the world. All right. So another guy who was very good looking, people would say before he came in, is he ripped his shirt off when he came down to the squared circle, and then afterwards the fight was good looking. Your face, but that's what comes with being a fighter. Zach Calamus on the phone. We're excited to be here. That was the mark of a good fight, man. Thank you for being on with us today.
Thank you so much.
And you fought Bobo O'Bannon.
Wait, let's just go. I'm sorry to cut you
please,
off,
please.
but I want to kind of bring it back to where we met him at the tryouts, and then we'll lead into this if you don't mind.
No, please.
Do you remember when you were at the tryouts? Do you remember me coming up to you and said the loudest guy in the room usually can't fight? Do you remember me saying that to you?
Yes, sir.
And you told me, well, I'm different. And you proved it, man. I take my hat off to you 100%, man. You proved that you came to fight, man, and that was just amazing, man. Amazing, because usually the guys that are really loud and, talk and, just talk a bunch of shit and do things you're not supposed to do, usually can't fight. And, man, was I dead wrong about you. And I don't like to use that W-R-O-N-G word too much.
I never heard him
but
say
I
it.
was wrong, man. You fought your ass off. I take my hat off to you, brother. Congrats.
Thank you, sir. Just having a platform where I could show exactly, how tough I am as a man, because I've always prided myself on how tough I am, and a lot of people know that around the boxing gym in Lynn and around Gloucester. A lot of people know how tough I am, but there's still people who question it, and having the platform with BKFC to go in front of the world and show what I got, I was able to do that. And my whole life, I've wanted a place to show what I'm capable of.
Well, you're here now. You have it, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, after going to the tryouts. And like we said, we're glad to have you. But my question always is, when people first come into the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship organization, why Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship? I mean, it's a specified sport. It's not an easy sport. Why is this for you?
This sport, for me, because I feel as though the easiest route is not always the best route. The hard routes in life teach us valuable lessons. So I wanted to put myself through something different and trials and tribulations, and I wanted something to truly remember, and my family to be proud of, and my community. My community has been hurt through this Corona ordeal. The whole world is hurt, and it's been terrible. And my community is really struggling, of Gloucester and the North Shore. And I felt like all the pain, I just needed somewhere to release it. And that's what it comes down to. That fight was, I needed it. And that's why I was acting the way I was, but I wasn't acting, that's how I really felt inside. And when I got in the ring, I knew that I was going to fight as hard as I possibly can. And every time I needed to stand up, because I've been I wanted to motivate people, and I definitely did. Last thing I'll say is my girl's coworker, son, is a young kid, and she works at Deborah Kuehl Salon in Beverly, and she's a manager, and she works really hard at Aveda Hair Salon. And she works really hard. And her coworker's son said, he said, I'm out of shape, Mom, and this and that. And he's out of shape a little bit, and he's not perfect. And he did it for us, Mom, because he listened to the podcast and he watched the fight. He said, Mom, I'm not going to feel bad about myself anymore.
That's amazing.
Because
That's powerful.
Bad about.
That's
Look
amazing.
what he did.
You definitely did your community. You did your community proud, brother. Definitely did.
Yeah, they're all coming to me, treating me so good. So, the love I experienced when I got home, my heart, even in Alabama, my heart grew 3 times. Like, forget about, the winning and losing, and I'm so happy with his congratulations on his win, but my heart grew 3 places. Like, I grew as a person, my heart grew, everything that I prayed to God would happen. That's what happened.
It's crazy, man. I was on a business call this morning, trying to do a deal with a major company, which hopefully we can announce within the next 2 or 3 weeks, like I said. And the one thing I said the one thing that people never understand about this sport is our fighters are so respectful to each other. And
they really
dude,
are.
you're like choking me off. Like, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, you epitomize exactly. You fight your ass off, and you respect the hell out of yourself and the other fighters, man. It's amazing.
Thank you, sir.
And Zach, you said your heart grew three sizes. You put on an absolutely amazing performance. And there was a time where you got knocked down, you got up, you got knocked down, you got up again. And I'm like, listen, you don't have anything in my mind. You don't have anything to prove, and no fan in here would think otherwise if you just stay down. But when you got up, that crowd could not have been louder. Did that weigh into your ability to keep going? Did they kind of will you into, moving forward?
I use the crowd and my emotions, and I use the people and my spirit, because that's all I care about. I'm fighting for the people. I'm not fighting for me. I have a full-time job. I have money saved. I'm responsible. I have a muscle. I told you I have a good life. But my point is, I don't need the money. I didn't do it for that reason. It's great. The money is wonderful, but I didn't do it for that reason. I did it to inspire the youth and the kids who have been bullied and held down. And I'm grateful to all the gods, to whatever God, spirits that allowed me to have the BKFC to show how tough I am. And I've been dealing with a lot of pain through the Corona, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally my whole life. And it's been like a beast inside of me. And I've been carrying it since I was 10 years old. I spoke a little bit about it, being mentally disabled, and I was bullied really bad as a kid, like really, really bad. I had a speech impediment. I couldn't talk. I had a lisp. I had a tick in my eye. I blinked a lot. Basically, I was a fat, curly-headed kid.
Wow, man.
And had all disabilities.
We all, while you were talking and we're on the film, we were all touching our heart. We're like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah,
but this is what I say, like, I'm a former professional fighter, and I know everything that you went through. I went through all that. I had a lot of problems at home, in my personal life with my family growing up, and to be able to get out there and show the world really what you're capable of, man. It's like a freedom that you really can't even explain it, man. I mean, you brought it out that night, which was unbelievable.
BKFC freed my heart and mind, and it saved my life, honestly. I can honestly say the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship saved my life. I don't know. I was going through so much pain. I lost a friend 2 weeks ago. He's in the ground, rest in peace. And he's my best friend. And I've been dealing with things on an unworldly level of pain. a lot of sleepless nights, and just so much struggle in myself. And BKFC, I couldn't be more grateful for them seeing me, you know. And like I said, I would give my life for BKFC, but I'd rather live for it. And I'm trying to be a warrior for you guys. And I want to be like Arturo Gotti. I always loved Gotti, or Mickey Ward. I want to be like those guys. And I want to inspire people to go out and live better. So every single person that they impact, you know, it's like a chain reaction, and the world just gets better that way. Because at the end of the day, no one cares how much money you made or how cool you are, what car you have. I got an 11-year-old car. It's like 12 years old. It's got 20-something thousand miles. I have old things. My shoes are falling off, but I'm like old Yankee type, and I get that from my dad. He's very successful in the financial industry. He plans meetings for MetLife Financial. You know, he's from New England. He's very successful, but I'm old Yankee. I don't care about materialistic things at all. I don't care how my face looks, or I only care how my heart feels. And my heart feels grown. I feel free. I feel like free. I feel like the best.
It's crazy, man. You know, I actually posted this the other day, and it's really about what you just said. It says, it was from Denzel Washington's tweet. It said, if you died tonight, your employer would advertise and fill your job role by the end of the month. But your loved ones, chosen family, and friends would miss you forever. Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to work making a life. And you kind of just, you know, epitomize everything in that statement, man. I tell you, man, you're gonna have a phenomenal life just by the person that you are. You showed a lot of people talk the talk. You walk the walk.
Sure
you fought
did.
your ass off, and now you're fighting your ass off in life. The way that you just talked, man, it's unbelievable. I'm glad that I met you. I'm glad that I gave you a shot, because you helped me grow in life. To be honest with you. I mean, I don't want to get all sentimental here, but this guy is like crazy, man.
Yeah, you're about as legit as it gets, man. And it's not only was it a pleasure to watch you fight, it's in a larger and a more fulfilling pleasure speaking to you on the phone and listening to the trials and tribulations of your life and how you've overcome them. And you have touched a lot of people, and I hope this continues to touch and reach more people, that they can have the courage that you do, and also fight for other people that may or may not have that courage, and to dig deep and to continue to move on in life. So
can't wait to bring you back here, man.
Thank you so much, Zach, for your fight and your kind words.
I have a question.
Thank you,
Zach, before we let you go, because I feel like he's getting ready to wrap up. This is a question I always like to ask fighters, because what a fight, right? And afterwards, you and Bobo, both gentlemen, speaking to each other in the ring. I mean, you guys embraced, you took the picture. I saw Dave up there taking the picture. You guys, what words were exchanged between you two? What did Bobo have to say to you after that fight?
Basically, it was, I can't, there was so much going on, but I know the message was basically around the lines of good job, and you know, we were just screaming, man, excitement. We were just so excited. I think he said I brought the beast out of me. Definitely brought the beast out of me, and he's been calling me since I left the building, making sure I'm okay. I don't know, a lot of people don't know, he cleaned me up after the fight. So the damage he put on me, he cleaned me up after the fight, and I have pictures of that. And he was right through my face and telling me how important it is to get the dried blood off my face. And he called me.
He actually did a post yesterday, Zach. He told everybody to pray for you for your. You were getting your tooth done, and he told everybody to pray for you that you made out successful. Yep. In your tooth. It's just crazy. That's what I say. Like, yeah, it's.
We talked this morning about it on the way to the appointment at Seacoast Dental, and he's just such a wonderful man, human being. I think the whole world could learn a lesson from Bobo Albana in the sense of humility and just being a good person, and doing the right thing, because that's what it comes down to, you know. And you might not get famous, you might not get rich, you know, but at least if you do the right thing in the morning, you can look in the mirror and you can be happy with what you look at.
Yeah, you can be rich in a different way, my man.
I agree. And I want to correct you. It's not just Bobo Albana. It's Zach Calamus now, too. Everything you just said about Bobo can go for you as well. Don't be bashful, because we all feel that way now. And we're proud to have you on this roster. Thank you for being on this roster.
I just want you to know I'm so proud of I'm proud. And I love you guys. And I love the BKFC. It saved my life. And I really mean that.
We love you too, Zach. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate your time.
Talk to you soon, brother.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
You too. Man, what a good guy.
Wow.
What a good guy. I mean, we sat here, we said it, but like we have like tears in our eyes as we're showing the video.
Literally, man. I don't even know where to go with this.
No, it's crazy, because I was on a call this morning, a big call, and I said they wanted to know, we were doing this in integrity services because we have to have this, to make sure we're not doing anything funny and so people can bet on us and things like that. So we're doing this integrity. And he said, just talk to me a little bit about your fighters. And I'm like, it's the craziest thing like you've ever seen. Like, they're the baddest men and women in the world. They go in there, they fight their asses off, and they hug each other when they're done. They have a drink with each other, and look, they're checking up on each other. Like, it's just it's a different breed
brotherhood.
This is old school sportsmanship, old school camaraderie.
I agree.
It's gotten lost, and I'll say it right now. And I'm not going to go off on too much of a tangent, but professional sports basically suck. You know what I mean? And they suck because it's all about the money for the most part. And you lose that sportsmanship. You lose those basics of when you got into sports.
The camaraderie.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a big part
The
of it.
sportsmanship in BKFC is second to none. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And this guy he just hits it on the head, and he lives it, and he's an exemplary member of the BKFC team, and hope to see him back soon.
No, he'll be back.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
He will be back.
We're looking forward to
If
that,
I made
man.
the matches, that dude would be fighting every event.
card,
But man, what a
card.
great person. What a great, thank you, Zach.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you for your fight. Thank you for the warrior he was. I mean, it was awesome.
So now, how do we transition out
I don't
of that?
even
I got it. I got it. I'm going to try to think.
We need a pro for
Here we
this.
go. Let me try.
Okay.
Okay, so we're really excited about Zach, and we love the man he is. And we're very excited. But you know what else we're excited about? Coming up, BKFC 18. Looking forward to that. It was a good transition. I tried. BKFC 18. I think we have a graphic we're going to throw up on the screen. 4 championship fights. Florida in June. It's going to be awesome. I know that we have Thiago Alves taking on Yuli Diaz. We have Tyler Goodjohn taking on Luis Palomino. Thank you. And also we have Shoemaker versus Beltran for the championship, the world championship, the heavyweight. That'll be awesome.
And we also have my favorite guy. I love this dude, Hector Lombard.
So do
is
I.
taking on Joe Riggs. I love this dude. man.
This
He's just
card is
it's
stacked
sick.
higher
and then,
than a 12
and then two
patty
or
sandwich,
two
son.
or three women's fights on the undercard. I mean, this one's going to blow the roof off the joint, and we will announce that date and location on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. It's in June. We're just crossing the T's and dotting the I's tomorrow.
I won't listen. I don't want to blow anything up. I don't want to mess anything up here. But looking at this card with these 4 championship matches, I mean, how do we decide what the main events are? I see they're
It's impossible. The whole thing is
a
amazing.
main event, the whole
which
show.
one?
Insane.
Which fight there are you most looking forward to see, Brian? And you can say it.
Which round table?
Which one?
Go ahead,
I
Brian.
want to. It's hard because I'm looking forward to all of them. I think if I had to pick, just because I think I want to see what's going to happen with Tyler Goodjohn and Luis Palomino, just because of my personal issues I've had with Tyler Goodjohn, and also because of all the trash he's been talking. And Luis Palomino, I saw him with Jim Ellers. Jim Ellers talked a little bit of trash, and I had the job. I love Luis; he's a gentleman, but I had to interview him before that fight. And I will never forget the intensity on that man's face. And that was a little bit of trash talk to Jim talk. Tyler's running his mouth nonstop. This guy's going to come out ready to murder somebody.
Yeah, when he actually won the belt and we invited him into the ring and people think it was a job, if you will.
I didn't invite him. I was scared out of my mind.
So let's just run through that real quick, if you don't mind. Joey Beltran, right? A guy who
The champ.
is never, ever the most athletic guy in the room. He doesn't have the best body in the room. He's just not a physical looking dude. He doesn't punch the hardest. He's got the most heart. He's got the most tenacity. He's got an iron glass chin, and he just keeps walking you down. And he's fighting Sam Shoemaker, who in his last fight looked like he had a reawakening. Like, I did have a talk with him, and I said, Sam, you can fight your ass off, but you're not giving the fans what they want to see. They want to see you go out there, wing, and knock people out.
Yep.
And he went out there, and I was like, whoa. So this Sam Shoemaker is going to give Joey a problem, or can give Joey Beltran problems.
I think so too.
Then we moved to Hector Lombard and Joe Riggs, 2 guys that are both undefeated with the organization.
Will it get out of the first round with these 2 men?
I don't know. I mean,
talk about swinging
Hector
bad
Lombard
intentions.
is an animal. And then we move on to the fight. You were talking about Luis Palomino versus Tyler Goodjohn. I know a lot of people are going, Tyler didn't look good in his last fight, and you know what? He didn't. And I'll be the first to say it. I think that he wasn't living right here in America. I think he got caught up in the party life a little bit, having fun, being the first time out here. I see him training over there in England now. I see everything he's doing. I think this is going to be a lot more competitive fight than people are giving it credit for.
And that weight, he was fighting at what? Bennett 145. Is he at 155 now? Right?
No, he fought him at 55.
He did fight him at 55.
50,
Okay.
50. I
Okay.
think it was in the middle, but he's fighting here at 155. He looks a lot thicker.
He does, man.
I
His
noticed that
training.
too.
You
His
actually
training.
showed me. You actually sent it
His
to me.
training looks legit.
Oh, he's out there online.
Yeah,
That's
he is not taking this lightly. So
Then
Oh,
we
he
got.
can't. He's going against Palomino. Palomino will
Man.
murder him if he takes
Then
it.
we have Thiago Alves fighting Yuli Diaz. Thiago Alves, UFC legend.
how do you pick one fight?
I can't. That's why I said I couldn't.
I
Fighting
cannot
Yuli
wait
Diaz.
for this
Yuli
card.
Diaz, professional boxer, professional mixed martial artist, professional bare knuckle fighter. Did it all.
Fastest knockout in the world,
Fastest
homie.
knockout
Wait a
in
minute.
combat
wait a minute,
sports
wait a minute.
history.
Why am I the only one that got to pick a fight? I need to know Rob and you. What are you guys looking forward to? They're all good. It's hard.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I was at BKFC 1.
Yeah.
I saw Sam Shoemaker knock out Eric Prindle.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Joey Beltran. He looked absolutely amazing. He put on fight of the night and kind of solidified it. So that fight's going to be awesome.
Great.
The drama between Palomino and Good John, they've got bad blood. It's not made up. They do not like each other.
it's bad.
There was almost a riot when he got
Didn't he
into
have
the
to be
ring.
escorted out of the ring?
Yeah,
or
we had
something?
4 or 5 security guards. Apparently, there was some issue with fans in the outside. But
I was nervous about that too. But there's a lot of other good fights in the card, like we said. He must have left. He didn't want to give us his opinion.
yeah, he just hopped out,
The
man. We
president's
scared
not-
we scared him out of the studio.
He said, "What are your favorite fights?" Then he ran away.
So yeah, I mean, those are my two, but you're not gonna the people that are
You
gonna
get to
win.
pick two.
Well,
you get to pick two.
The fans are gonna win out on this, man. This
they
is
are.
gonna be the biggest, craziest stacked BKFC event.
You're going to
ever.
pay
I
for
thought
your
Knuckle-
whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge of it. It's going to be one of those kind of nights. I really believe that. And I also believe that I'll say something about Hector. I like Hector. He's a wonderful guy. I enjoy when we go to interview him. I enjoy talking to him on and off screen. Hector, even though I know he's a great guy, he still intimidates me when I'm around him. He's just such a bad dude. He's not a mean dude, but he could just blow on me and I'd snap in half. That's Hector.
Yeah,
so
he
I
is.
don't know Joe like I know Hector, but I'm looking forward to that fight too because Hector, the old Hector that we saw jump back in against was it Kendall Grove? Mm-hmm. Oh, that Hector's something to be reckoned with.
I know, man, and it's so hard to choose a favorite fight, and I think they're all going to be great fights. Matchups look wonderful. You can see Hector training now. I mean, the dude is just a genetic monster. Look at him.
You know how you
man.
can tell somebody's in great shape when they're wearing a long sleeve shirt and I can see all those muscles still like bulging out. I'm like, Hector, you're popping out of your long sleeve shirt. This guy's a monster.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see his fight with Joe. A stacked card, to say the least. BKFC 18, of course, BKFC.com. If you haven't seen BKFC 17, watch that with the app, and then you can watch BKFC 18, which is going to be awesome. That'll be in June, and we'll have more announcements coming, the official date and everything with that really soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to a quick commercial. I think a Tiger Life commercial.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to commercial.
Welcome to the world of Bare Knuckle TV. Watch every live Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship pay-per-view event for only $3.99 per month. Enjoy our all-new library of content, including unlimited access to the full archive of BKFC pay-per-views, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive BKFC original series, and additional live Bare Knuckle fights from around the globe. You can access it anywhere you want, anytime you want, instantly on most streaming devices. It's available right now on the Bare Knuckle TV app. Over 1,000 hours of on-demand content, uncut and uncensored. All here, anytime you want, anywhere you want, for only $3.99 a month. Subscribe now exclusively at bktvapp.com.
He walks back and he's getting his mic back on. Where's your? It's
like David Blaine,
that's
man.
When he just disappeared. He goes, "Tell me the fight that you guys are most looking forward to." Then he left, and he wasn't. I knew you were going to do that because you can't say the fight you're looking most forward to. You can't do that. As president.
I mean, we try to do everything that we can very professionally, but I have to take. That was a very important call. It had something to do with our BKFC 18. I had to do it. It was like the most important call. Okay. So we're good. Everything's great on the event. We can definitely announce the date and the location on Thursday. That was just, concrete on that. So sorry to sneak out and then sneak back in. And I think the fight I'm most looking forward to is,
I didn't think he was going to give this to us.
Find out in June?
Yeah, find out in June. We'll give you a way out.
I don't know. I mean, look, there's a lot of depends. Does Sam Shoemaker show up like he did against Bubba O'Bannon.
Good point.
If he does, that's an absolute war. You know, it's Joey Beltran is training his ass off. Yuli Diaz coming off a 3-second knockout. Is he training harder or training less? How bad does Thiago Alves really want this? Is it a payday for him, or does he really want to fight, right? I mean, Luis Palomino has a chip on his shoulder just for his whole career. He's got a chip on his shoulder. Tyler Goodjohn has a lot to prove for what he came, you know, all the hype that came over here on, and he didn't really deliver on his last fight. And then Hector Lombard, I mean, can punch a hole through somebody. And Joe Riggs, who fought everybody, and people say, oh, he's fighting too long. I mean, he's undefeated in bare knuckles, so he's obviously not fighting too long.
He's been
he
looking
looks
very
good. He looks great. I don't know. I think the fight that I'm most looking forward to see is Rob versus Nate.
Our matchmaker, Rob versus our matchmaker.
I don't know. No, really.
Well,
if
that fight occurs, I got my money on Nate.
We all do.
I can't pick a fight. All I can say is, and I don't want to sound cliche and, you know, like an idiot saying this, but the crowd is going to definitely win on this one.
I agree.
This is I mean, where have you ever seen 4 world championship fights in one night?
Yeah. And they're like, we don't know either way. Like, it's not like, oh, this guy might win this. I have no clue. And we can only speculate.
It's funny in the integrity thing. I actually had to answer how do I regulate or make sure that all the fights are matched evenly, and then it's not like one-sided and stuff like that. I'm like,
just look at this.
Just look at the card, man.
It doesn't get any more. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's all exciting, and we're going to talk more about June as it rolls forward towards it, and we're very excited about that. But the other thing we like to always look at is let's all 3 of us do it. Let's go ready. 1, 2, 3. Point to the camera. 1, 2, 3. Knockout of the week.
I'm pointing to the wrong camera.
I don't know. This way, Dave. We were a bunch of mess ups. All right, knockout of the week.
All right.
We look forward to this. I don't know. Let's see who's coming up first. Who we doing? Rob or Brian's knockout of the week? All right, we'll do my knockout of the week first. My knockout of the week was from our last time we just had Kakar comeback KO over Chris Sarro. I mean, this to me, you know, Chris Sarro walks in. Chris is a bad dude. We know he got knocked out by Josh Burns, but he still looks like a bad dude. And they were just going back and forth. Sean Wheelock said this could be fight candidate of the year. I think I misspoke when I said that earlier, and I agree with him. They just went. It was under a minute long, and apparently Kakar had a messed up shoulder too.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So he was fighting with one arm.
He fought with one arm?
I don't know if he dislocated it before.
He had a slightly dislocated shoulder. Actually, right before that, he got a slightly dislocated shoulder. But I mean, look. Chris Sarro, I mean, yes, he got knocked out. Look at him. Look at him, though. There's not an ounce of quitting him. He's trying with every ounce of his body to get up and keep fighting. So,
his legs aren't working.
You know, really hats off and kudos to him. But what about, I mean, did we talk
fighting
about
a man with
Kakar's
fighting a man with one arm, though, and you can knock somebody out with one arm. I'm actually scared to see this guy when he has 2 arms, man.
Well, let me tell you, it's what we talk about a lot, though. It's what we talk about a lot.
Wow.
What's your why? Why are you fighting? Why do you want to fight bare knuckle? Why are you going to risk getting a scar for the rest of your life? This dude's why is incredible. Do you know his why?
Yeah, I heard him talking to Sean Wheelock. He said freedom, his freedom, because he's here in Philadelphia,
so
which I realized.
He's from Pakistan.
Yeah.
He was locked up in a refugee camp. He escaped from the refugee camp and found a way to make it to Australia somehow, and was living actually homeless in Australia. Didn't have a home, and then met up with some people who helped him get to America, and he came to America to meet up with some family here that made his way from Pakistan. I mean, the dude's story was like crazy. So when he came here, he actually came here to the office because he lives in Philly to talk about, you know, fighting. And I'm like, dude's from Pakistan. I mean, take nothing away from Pakistan, but I'm like, there's not really a lot of good skilled fighters that come out of Pakistan.
You don't hear it.
So
you don't hear
can
it.
the dude fight? And then when I heard his story, I was like, ooh, this guy's going to fight, man. He's going to fight. And he did.
Which is funny because he got the fired up moment too. Tiger Life fired up moment. We just showed it. I don't think there'll ever be a better Tiger Life fired up moment than him crushing a Tiger Life can or trying to do it on his head. That would have knocked me out alone. But this guy
he also got one half of the. We gave out 2 KOs of the night. Did we announce that yet or not?
No,
you do
didn't.
it right now.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So the first one is actually Azatullah Kakar. He's
knockout of the night.
He's getting KO of the night.
Congratulations.
And then, the second one is Ronnie Rogers. Ronnie Rogers knocked out Dimitri Angelini. Came all the way over from Italy. There was a lot of hype behind Dimitri Angelini, and you know.
I want to say, as we're talking about the KO night,
Ronnie was not having any of that.
I mean,
he just derailed that hype train.
This dude came out. Look, he fought his ass off, Dimitri, but you know,
he did.
It's just I'm not saying there's different fighters here in America than there are in Italy, But I mean, it's just a different game here. You're getting a lot more people to train with, a lot more people to spar with. So, you know, there's just, I think I mean, I know BKFC is on a different level than any other bare knuckle fighting promotion that's in the world right now. And, you know, that kind of showed it. You know, Ronnie Rogers, Azatullah Kakar, both KO'd it tonight.
Well, let's talk about Kakar to rewind. After the fight, if you noticed, if you watch closely, he told the ref, he said, "Don't raise my arm." And the ref's like, "I got it. I know your arm's messed up." He said it to him twice, and he didn't. And then Sorrow, I don't know if he didn't know what was going on. I would assume he didn't. He reached over and jerked up his arm, and you could see, Kakar pulled his arm out. And when I was doing my backstage interviewing, Kakar came through the back, and I don't know if it was just emotion. I don't know if it was his arm. This guy was like weeping loudly. Not
he
crying.
was just crying for excitement because what we did actually have a doctor in the back. You know, we have 3 doctors on staff at every fight. 2 of them do stitches, and 1 of them tends to the fighters.
Yeah, he was
and
very
he popped
emotional.
his shoulder back in the back.
He was very emotional in that ring.
As he should
you
be.
could tell that, you know, his tears of
They're showing it now.
going from a refugee camp to one of the biggest stages on. Yo, what's up with Sorrow, man? Come on. Yeah.
He's in a good mood for getting.
I never saw a guy that happy
Yeah,
to get knocked
oh,
out.
look, see that had to hurt. You know that hurt the poor guy. Then he says, "Oh, oops."
Well, he raised
I'm
the other
sorry.
hand.
Yeah.
Well, he knocked him out with a left hook, though, right?
Yeah.
Sorrow, that face was amazing.
It was. I love Sorrow's face there. You know, I love that he probably smacked the Tiger Life cone and said to get rid of the pain in his arm when he got lifted up, so he could paint the pain elsewhere.
Sorrow's a good dude, man.
No,
But, I mean,
I enjoyed
Azatullah
too.
Kakar, I mean, look, like I said, man, who knows what's going to happen? Look at that. And he was fighting with it.
Sorrow's face is great there.
I tried to pause it.
That's great. So there we have the 2 KOs of the week. Excuse me, the 2 KOs of the night, and one of them was my knockout of the week. I didn't know that. Wow, awesome. What do you have for us, Rob?
All right, my knockout of the week. We already watched this, so I feel bad, you know, showcasing it again. Tom Shoaf.
Yeah.
You got to give it to Tom Shoaf,
Have
man.
to.
You know, what was even scarier is his walkout. So if you didn't see his fight, please rewatch it.
First fight on the card.
BKFC.com. Watch his walkout music. He had that 50-yard stare.
Oh yeah.
You know, someone that you know that they have very bad intentions for you. He was ready before that bell even, you know, hit. And, you know, his performance was just, you know, spectacular, man. He knew it. He knocked out the guy's tooth or teeth.
Who knows?
Yep.
Right? Tooth Fairy Tom Shoaf, as I was saying. And watch, he walked away. What you're saying, to piggyback off you, even after the fight, he just walked away backwards and stared out to the crowd. And then after that, he's singing, he's dancing, he's singing Mama Said Knock You Out, like he's in a good mood.
So that's my knockout of the week.
What a great knockout of the week. Oh, here's the walkout that Rob was talking about here. I mean, he's got the classical music going, which was awesome.
Tom Shoaf, and he has quickly become a favorite amongst his peer fighters and bare knuckle fans.
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, it starts with the mustache. You gotta like the mustache. He just looks like the old school fighter. He fights old school.
There it is, man. What a legend. What a legend. Check out his fights and all the fights now, BKFC.com.
That's right. BKTV app's up there. So, I mean, we have another knockout of the week, I think.
the fan.
We should have had you do one if I knew you were going to be here, but we have one from a fan.
What is the fans knockout
I don't know. I'm
of the
always
week?
excited to see. Let's see what that one is. May 15th, Fort Worth, Texas. That's the next trial that's coming up. We're looking at the knockout. Oh, my gosh. Is that a soda machine? A beer machine? What is that?
What is that guy doing? Did he
Why'd
just
he
knock
do
that
it?
guy out?
I don't know. Then someone else-
Oh!
I can't see it so zoomed in. I think it's a female punching him.
Oh, she wasn't having it.
Oh!
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Someone send her our way. Wow.
Send her a
That's right, bare knuckle.
contract,
Get
man.
her signed.
Wow.
That's
Katie Taylor, convenience store KO. Isn't Katie Taylor a fighter?
Oh, is that really
That's
Katie
not
Taylor?
really her, is it?
no. I think that's people
No,
were
I
tagging.
thought that was a meme. Yeah.
Yeah, no, people were tagging like it was Katie Taylor. This video is, I believe, from Russia, but the lady was behind. It looked like she was behind the counter. Yeah. She was actually the convenience
knocked
I
his
thought
worker.
that was the
Dead,
knockout
didn't
right
she?
there until she showed up. And bop, bop.
Boom.
Oh, watch. This guy's like, oh,
Oh, wow. Yeah, he hit her.
did he? Ooh.
Wow.
Down goes Frazier.
That's right. That's what we're all yelling at her. Like, down goes Frazier.
Hey, this is a lesson. Be careful who you start shit with, man. 100-pound female will knock you the f- out.
I just go, good censorship.
100%.
Wow. I want to go home and sit in my basement after watching that and not speak to anybody. I'm so nervous. Just
man.
get knocked out. Send yours, of course, knockout
Yeah,
of the
thank
weeks. We
you.
like to see
Well,
them.
if,
Info
if-
at bareknuckle.tv.
If you guys were around for our pregame, Rob's probably getting knocked out tonight. when he goes home.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think maybe we leave it at that, Rob.
Yep.
Want to go any further? Hey, you can.
We're gonna leave it at that.
Just like we did last week in the chat, you can guess why Rob is going to get knocked out when he goes home.
Yeah, yeah. Leave us a comment why you think I'm going to get knocked out.
Because Rob's going to need to laugh about something once he gets home, so be funny.
Oh, I think we have one last thing: is the Lorenzo Hunt. We really need to touch on that.
Sure, he's a superstar.
The juggernaut.
His entrance alone was awesome.
Unstoppable.
Can we see him flying into the ring?
He's like Superman. Look at his entrance.
Can we see him flying?
Watch this. Evan Zentar, the Lord himself, catches that. That's great.
Listen, if he wants to go to the NBA after this, I completely understand, man.
Look at that.
This guy is.
Do you
would
know,
anyone argue he's the purest?
He's the best athlete in the organization.
We have in the organization.
Yeah, best pure athlete.
And you know what? He got tested. He got hit with some good shots by Josh Dyer this time. He had definitely got tested, and he came through with flying colors. But I mean, Josh Dyer also, and take nothing away from Lorenzo Hunt. I mean, look, he's becoming a star in this organization.
Oh yeah, quickly.
And this is the sport for him. Josh Dyer took some unbelievable punches. Got knocked. I thought he was getting knocked dead on his back. Got right back up and kept fighting. I mean, that dude has tremendous heart, tremendous ability. He had some malfunctions with the contact, but I don't even know why Alabama allowed the contact, but I know the other states don't. So I'm really looking forward to him coming back. But, you know, what's next for Lorenzo Hunt? I mean,
a tank? I don't know. What can beat this guy?
This dude's
man?
a beast, man.
Lorenzo,
and you know what I said earlier today, and I'll let you talk. I'm sorry. It's just so nice, too, man. Sent me a text thanking me. You know, just so many different nice things, man. He's just, he's a good dude. But
he was on the show 2 weeks ago.
He unleashes it in that square circle.
Yeah, he's all class. I like that about him too. And if you look at Lorenzo, we'll talk about him for a minute because he, from the moment he walks out, looks like a star doing the cool entrances. He brings the girls, he brings the guys, obviously dancing. I love that if you've never noticed, he's talked about this. Those robes that he wears out, he auctions them off and then gives the money to charity. But what he has airbrush on the back of the robe is, he loved telling me this. He's like, everyone he's knocked out, everyone who's photographic knockouts, he airbrushes a new knockout from each fight on the back of his robe when he walks out. How great is that?
That is
and then
cool.
Then he doesn't just talk. He gets in the ring and he provides. And he's just, I feel like for me, he's one of my, I shouldn't say this, I'm broadcast journalist, but he is one of my favorite BKFC fighters to watch. He really is.
It's hard not to like the guy. It's impossible. He comes off as very arrogant. You know, again, watching his fight, looking at the comments, people are polarized. Like, oh, this guy's talking trash. Speak to him. The things he does inside the ring and even more outside of the ring, from his volunteering and his charity work to working with, I believe he works with children as well.
He does all the time. Is it a crime to be good and know you're good? I don't think so.
No. Is it? I would actually argue it's a crime to be a good person in today's day and age. But guess what? Fuck it. We're all criminals then.
Rob getting all deep there.
I am. I'm going to close out on that. I support. Yeah, listen, I love our fighters. They do a lot inside and outside of the ring. And I think good people don't get enough recognition. So I would like to recognize him.
I mean, the guy lifts cars for old ladies when they can't get a parking spot. So how can you get better than that? Lorenzo Hunt. We love him. The juggernaut. I think unless the president has anything to say, I think we're going to wrap it up here.
I mean, you know, I think we have some of the toughest, baddest fighters in the world. We have the best fans in the world. Our loyal fans are just unbelievable, and they're telling everybody. You know what I did notice this time? I don't really go through the Instagram comments, really, you know, because I'm just working a lot. So I went through a lot of these Instagram comments, and people were like, this is my first time ever watching a BKFC show. I'm a fan for life. I'm a fan for life. It's just when people watch this, you know, if they're a combat sports fan, they fall in love with this product, man. And, you know, I'm just so happy that our fan base is growing. Our fighters are fighting their asses off, and they're getting taken care of to do so. And who knows where we're going to be in a year from now.
I can't wait to see. I'm excited to see that. I know also, before we get out of here, we did the Unreal Mobile fan giveaway.
Yeah, that's right.
So we talk about how much we love how much we love the fans, but we don't sing it, we bring it. We had a PlayStation 5 to give out, and we also had a Samsung, was it a 50-inch TV?
50-inch Samsung TV.
I thought so. I was measuring my wall, and I thought I could steal it from here, but no. We did give them out. Do you have the names of the people? I know we called them.
Yeah. I don't have it in front. Actually, give me 1 second. Let me turn this.
Well, I'll tell you, when I called
I just want to know if he watched the fights on the 50-inch.
I asked him
We need to call him back.
I think I asked him that.
I followed up with him. I believe his name is Tom. Give me 1 second.
Well, he's a winner of a 50-inch. That's all he needs to know. And it was sent to him, I believe, already. So he said he was going to watch BKFC. He couldn't wait on the 50-inch. So he did say that.
Yeah, I'm not going to give out full last names.
don't do
Madison K and Tim B.
And Madison K got the PS5.
Madison won the PlayStation 5. You called her personally. That was great.
I did. She was all,
She was,
huh?
yeah.
She was shocked. What?
And so was Tim. He was like, wait, Did I win?
So
Did
on
I
next week's podcast, you guys are going to drop a contest that we're going to do to bring 2 people to BKFC 18, round trip air accommodations, hotel, the whole 9 yards, the whole VIP treatment. We're bringing
it back,
but we're doing something even different. We're doing a huge party the night before, a red carpet, a bunch of celebrities, a bunch of stars. This is kind of like
awesome.
our coming out party for Miami. It's going to be an amazing event. And, it was a feel-good show, so why not announce it today?
That's right. We don't have to drop anything. You dropped it. It's good. We know now.
Okay.
We'll give details next week.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned.
It's awesome.
I think the first step is making sure you subscribe to our channel and make sure you download the BKTV app.
Hit the like button.
Yeah. Smash it.
Smash it. All right.
But congratulations, Madison. Congratulations, Tim, along with 20 other people that won pay-per-view subscriptions, merchandise, swag, and a plethora of other things. And it looks like we have an awesome contest we're going to be announcing next week.
You know, I worked in radio for like 20 years, giving away cars, giving away money, and it never, ever, ever gets old to hook somebody up with something they really want, a trip, whatever. It never gets old. It always feels good to do. So I'm glad we still do that here in this organization.
Feeling.
And that's
I guess
right.
Maybe Bret Hart's going to be there at the party. Who knows? We'll see. I think that does it for today. Now that we dropped that big bomb on him.
That's
Now that
awesome,
we heard
man.
from Bret Hart. I have my Tiger Life. Do you have yours?
Grab my Tiger Life.
You drank yours, or are you down?
I drank mine, but
Tiger
cheers,
Life
man.
toast.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna pour out some of my Tiger Life for
What's this?
wow.
yeah. So
That
I'll
was-
let you guys. I'll let everybody know what happened with this on next week's.
Is that a drone?
podcast.
Was that
It
a
is.
drone?
This was a
Rob
brand
drank
new
too
drone.
much Tiger Life.
This was a brand new drone, and we'll talk about it in next week's podcast.
What
Stay
a tease,
tuned.
Rob. I can't wait to tune in for that one.
Have a good week, guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
And knuckle up. Thanks for being here.